Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Bella from Earth Angel Restorative Therapy and Healing. I just quickly wanted to say thank you to everybody who's watched my videos as my camera's moving. Thank you to everybody who's watched my videos and the new subscribers. Thank you so much. And for anybody that has commented and engaged with my videos, thank you. I'm gonna be doing I'm gonna try to do a vlog today, and it's all in an effort to like bring more substance and different kind of videos and things to my channel. I'm still going to do, I feel like, my weekly videos. I like the current happenings because I like talking about like big current events. I want to see if other people can, are willing to join me with that. Actually, I think it'd be really fun. So if you are a psychic or an intuitive or a medium and you'd like to join, like, let me know. I'd love to connect and stuff like that. I'm definitely going to be posting QHHT videos so long as I get the client permission. And I thought that I would introduce some vlogs to the channel as well. And I'm going to be from the thumbnail. Thumbnail. That's what it's called, right? From the thumbnail, what if it's not? Hold on. All right, who cares? So from the title, let's just say, I'm sure you guys are well aware that this is going to be about my twin flame situation. It's not going to be a long video, and it's not going to be about my whole twin flame experience. If you guys want that information, I'd be happy to make the videos for it. It's just that in an effort to keep things nice and what's the word that I'm looking for? Short. I'm just going to focus on my separation, what I've learned through my separation. And so these personal twin flame vlogs are meant to kind of be done in segments. Not that many, but I mean, who knows? If there are people out there that really want to see it or think that they can benefit from hearing my story, let me know. I'll definitely do it. So as I said, I want to focus on my separation and things that I've learned in my separation. First, I wanted to mention that my twin flame and I have been separated for 2 years. It's about to be 2.5 years, actually. We maintained contact for about 1.5 years, give or take. So it's about to be a full year where, I haven't seen him. And I think that within this almost year that we have been like no contact, like the norm. Because, all right, let me backtrack. When we first separated, it was my doing. I was definitely running away from that situation because I felt like I wasn't whole. I felt like there was something inside of me that was missing, that there was some big hole inside of me that needed to be filled before I was able to be a good partner to him. And I knew that had to do with healing my old wounds, my childhood wounds, loving myself, being okay with who I am, things of that nature. But I didn't communicate it properly. So to him, I was just telling him like, no, because at that point too, I had moved back to my home state in Rhode Island. So now there's distance between us, and now I'm feeling more pressure to just end things with him, and I didn't understand why. So if I didn't understand fully, it was hard for me to express it fully. And so I felt like I let him down big time because I didn't understand it enough to communicate it well enough. And sorry, I just got a text message. I didn't communicate it well enough, and I felt like I just left him dry and cold, and I think that he definitely felt that. So it didn't end in the best way. Sorry, they're texting me. So when I initially, like, the way that I break up with people is just by literally just cutting a cord and saying, "Oh, bye." That's not the best way. Especially for him and his emotional needs, it just wasn't the best way. And for me either, because there wasn't really like a closure. And although with twin flames I'm learning, or I've learned, you don't get that closure ever. But I think that it would have been helpful. So, all right. So a few months go by and we don't speak, and I become very depressed. That depression was serious. I was like borderline suicidal. I was in a very dark and negative place because it literally felt like my light was pulled from me. Like I was this machine and the batteries were pulled out. And so now I'm just like, burp. And a few months go by, like 4 or 5 months, and I try reaching out. But since I didn't know how to communicate then, I'm still struggling, a few months later. So what I do is I write a note, and it was a long note. Let's just leave it at that. It was a really long note trying to explain what I couldn't explain before, why it happened, how I feel, basically saying that I'll always love you and I'm sorry and please take me back, because I knew that I had to be alone, but I didn't want to let him go. And so I was trying to force it. I was trying to force being in a relationship with him. It didn't work. He was in a relationship with somebody else, with his karmic, and I was dealing with that for the back and forth for maybe a year. Yeah, maybe a year, where he was with this karmic person who he would tell me time and time again, it's not right for me. She's not right for me. And so kind of feeling like the yo-yo, like a seesaw, like yes, he's mine, he's coming back to me, and then no, he's going back to her. I'm gonna be alone and without him, and let me just die. And it was very rough. While I was still talking to him, we had gone through several pregnancies, which didn't carry, none of them carried through for one reason or the next. But as you can imagine, like, I'm still thinking that this is my husband. I'm still thinking that me and him, because by that point, when by the time I had written the letter to him, I had understood somewhat that I was a twin flame, that me and him were kind of supposed to be together. And so I tried to tell him. I didn't tell him twin flame terminology. I didn't tell him that. But I was like, soulmates, we're supposed to be together, marry me. Sorry about that. Okay, so I didn't use the twin flame terminology. I just said soulmates were supposed to be together, blah, blah, blah. Like, just leave her, come to me. And he just wasn't having any of that. And so it was very hard for me because I felt like, what do I do? Like, I'm still struggling with Sorry, as you guys can hear, there's a lot going on upstairs. When isn't there when I'm doing a video? But what was I saying? So I didn't understand fully what a twin flame was. And I was still trying to wrap my head around me being a twin flame, because there's a lot of people that will tell you that you're not, just because it's maybe something that they don't understand, or maybe like from what I've seen, you know, if their twin flame situation doesn't work out, they're gonna tell you to give up on it. It's not worth it. Blah 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 blah. So there was a lot that I was still struggling with, and but I knew at that point that it was hard for me to accept it. But I knew me and him were kind of supposed to be together. But that, I'm like, I feel like it screwed up my mentality, because I knew that there was, you know, spirituality was, I was trying to dive deep in spirituality, and it's a lot to chew if you don't know what it is that you're doing. So I was still trying to learn all that I could about spirituality, all that I could about my life lessons. I was still trying to heal, all while dealing with this person, and him going through his karmic situation and seeing that play out, but still feeling like I needed to be with him because that's my twin flame, and because we're going to get married, and because that's that. Like, I need to stick with this. I need to deal with this. I need to put up with this, because, I mean, that's just my twin flame. That's what we do. So it got to a point where it was the end of summer last year, so 2017, where I was just like, you know what? Enough is enough. My health matters. And I just started to pull the plug, because we had seen each other a few times. We would talk, and sorry, these text messages. Let me put this on. Well, I'm scared, because if I put it on airplane mode, then it might end the video, and I don't want to do that. I'm sorry if this is going to be shitty quality. I'm trying to get things done before doing other things that I have to do today. And it just seems that as soon as I press record, I have a daycare upstairs, all the children just want to act up. My mom, you can hear her, you know, chasing after the kids and people coming down. Anyway, I sincerely apologize. But anyway, so the way that it was when we were in communication while we were in separation was now I lived in New York, and I was with him while we were in New York together. And then I moved back home to my hometown in Rhode Island. So that's a few states away. So we were trying to do the long distance, but it didn't work. It didn't work. Like, I was trying to make it work, and he's the type that maybe long distance relationships don't really work for him. And so he had his karmic relationship, and it was just very back and forth. He was very confused, and he didn't know what he wanted, and that confused me. And so now I'm like, okay, well, you're my twin flame, though. Like, it's clear to me. Why isn't it clear to you? Like, and so we would talk maybe once or twice per month, and those conversations would, if it started at 3 p.m., it would go until 3 a.m., 3 in the morning, and maybe like 2 consecutive days. And then I wouldn't hear from him again until maybe next month. And so that was like that for about a year, like I said, until I said, this isn't working. So at the end of summer last year, I pulled the plug. I just stopped talking to him. I didn't really give him a reason. And I think that it was the best thing for me to do. Again, I think that there could have been that closure, you know, trying to talk to him and telling him, like, this isn't really working. When I said I was done, I blocked him. I blocked his mom's phone. I blocked him on everywhere that I could, on WhatsApp, social media, everything. I blocked him. And actually I know that he has tried since then. He's tried calling me through like private numbers. And the last time that I spoke to him was January of this year. And I felt a lot of resistance there. Like there was still a lot of turmoil within me. There were still things that I needed to recover, or if that's the right word, I needed to learn to let go. Because I was just kind of like, leave me alone. Like, I don't want to hear from you. And he was more soft, but I was just like, I don't know, in my feelings. And although I don't want to admit that, but I was. So yeah, so since January, I haven't heard from him. I do still think about him. It's hard not to think about him, but now when I think about him, it's not full of anger and it's not full of frustration or pain, really. I do feel like my heart stirs sometimes, but I'm quick to say, you know what? I love him so much that I want to allow his life to unfold the way that it should, without me getting involved and without me influencing. I don't want his life to mirror what I want for him. Like, I just want it to unfold naturally. So I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I've learned on this journey since separating from him. For me, one of the biggest things, there's two really big things, although all of these are kind of big, but one of the two biggest things is I've learned about me. I've learned about me and my truths and my soul purpose and my soul lessons. And that was huge because, I mean, as a society, I know that there are a lot of people that don't know a lot about themselves. And if you grow up in that kind of family that allows you to discover who you are without judgment, I think that's beautiful. But I was always told who I should be and what I should do and what I need to look like. And it was hard trying to go deep within yourself, push all those theories aside and find out who you are, what you want to do, what you're here to do. It was hard. But I have learned, and I don't think that with any of these things that I'm going to say now, I don't think that I've stopped learning, because these are such big things that it's like you're constantly learning them and you're constantly learning how to apply them. So, I've learned my truths. I learned my spiritual truth, who I am, my soul's purpose. I feel like one of the biggest things I'm here to do is spread love. And I have such a loving energy that people feel good around me because they feel that light and they feel love. They feel love. They feel good. And I obviously know that I needed to experience the opposite of that, the contrast of that, in order for me to be able to give out love. But I needed to learn how to do it for myself too. So that's one of the primary focuses for Earth Angel Restorative Therapy and Healing, is to provide the healing and just to provide love. And if I can teach people, great, that's awesome. But really, I just want to spread the love. And I've learned some of the lessons that I needed to learn. I've learned, I think aside from love, one of the biggest things I needed to learn was forgiveness, because I blamed my mother for so much, so much. And I needed to let go of that because that was holding me back from love. So, yeah. I've also learned a lot about spirituality, with the truth about who we are, what we're here to do, our souls, our soul lessons, what's up there in space, what happens after you die, what kind of entities are really here, you know, such as like fairies and gnomes and freaking those what are those, like spirit animal no, animal spirits, or no, plant spirits, what are they called? There's a word. But stuff like that, and learning, you know, the evolution of the soul, and you know, all of that I've learned. And having a Catholic background definitely stifled that. And that was, although it was the coolest, it wasn't hard to learn because I knew that there was always something there different. But it was hard to kind of truly believe in when your background tells you that this stuff is non-existent and that you're going to hell if you believe in it. So, and every day I'm learning new things about spirituality and stuff beyond, you know, what's seen to the naked eye. Another thing that I've learned is like emotional intelligence. I wasn't good at that at first. I mean, I wasn't good at monitoring my emotions at all. And if I did notice I was kind of down or like kind of in a funky space, I didn't know how to pull myself out of that and how to stop myself. And now it's kind of like if I'm feeling weird, I'll either write about it. That's probably like the best thing that I can do for myself. Write about it and sit with it. Or let myself really feel the feelings and allow myself to kind of throw a self-pity party for a short amount of time. And then, okay, how do we get out of it? How do we go forward? Because I don't want to stay here for too long. Like, I don't like being in negative energy. I don't like being down. But now that you're here, what is there to learn from it? And let's move forward. I wasn't like that at all. And that's hard because if you, man, it's just so easy for it to kind of be like a snowball effect. The emotions, whether they're good or positive or negative. And so I think that we are all so used to just letting these negative emotions fester. We don't know how to stop it. We don't know. And so, yeah, that's a big thing that I've learned, and I'm actually kind of proud of myself for how I've been able to do that. Notice my emotions and then stop it if I don't like it. As I said, I mentioned forgiveness. That was a big one. I was a victim. I victimized myself, and blamed others, primarily my parents, my mom and my dad, for the negative things that I've experienced in my life because I didn't get what I needed from childhood. And it, like I said, it's easy to just be in that mentality and just let yourself continue to believe these things. But once you kind of take control and take responsibility and say, you know what, I can get myself out of this situation. How though? How do I do that? Then you're golden, you're good. And so for me to be able to take responsibility, that's been huge. That's been huge. And that I still struggle with. Some of these things I'm still, you know, I struggle, but not as bad at all as how I did before. So learning that manifestation pretty much, and Abraham Hicks has been everything on teaching me how to create the life that I want to see and how to not let things get me out of the vortex, to use their language. Another thing I learned is going with the flow. I mean, how have y'all done with that? Are y'all struggling with that? Because I'm a Virgo. Okay, I should just leave it like that. But I'm a Virgo. I like processes. I like checklists. I'm very organized. I am very logical and very literal, and if I can't figure out a game plan and map out every single step, then it feels weird. And it feels like I can't, like my anxiety. So taking a step back sometimes, or learning how to do that, has taken so much pressure off of me. It has allowed me to bring back more joy in my life and to see the joy that's out there in the little things, and having gratitude and all that stuff for the little things like good weather and, so going with the flow, though, you have to learn how to surrender, and you have to learn how to accept. And I mean, surrender, like I said, I'm used to not surrendering. I'm used to taking charge and doing what I need to do for me. And I've just found a lot more peace that way. And things come possibly quicker even than what I would have done for myself. Another thing I've learned to do is stepping outside of my comfort zone. This was more in regards to setting up my own business with Earth Angel Restorative Therapy and Healing. Definitely stepping outside of my comfort zone, which I'm not used to doing. Asking for help was another big thing. I was the type that I wanted to do for other people. And if other people wanted to help me, I was just like, no, I got this. Mind you, I'm a sinking man in like sinking mud, and who's freaking chest deep and sinking, and you realize it and you're still not asking for help. So learning how to ask for help, I've had to learn how to do that, because, and everybody's going to need help. It's just realizing that everybody's going to need help at one point or another, especially as a light worker. Like, you're here to help others, right? Everybody, no matter if you're a light worker, scratch that out of the table, because I'm all about getting people to feel inclusive. If we're here to help humanity, at some point you're going to have to accept that help, right? And so I had to sit with myself, and I had to ask myself that. And it's just like, yeah, I can't help, always give. I need to learn how to receive, and how to receive graciously, with a lot of gratitude and with a lot of joy, and being very thankful. So learning how to receive, realizing that people can help me, that people are willing to help me, strangers. I've had a lot of, turmoil within my family dynamic growing up. And I've found that first of all, with my spiritual business, I mean, practically nobody in my family, beside my sister and my niece, are really supportive of me. And to come from a big family, I mean, yeah, it hurts. So I just grew up with that mentality. Like, I need to do everything myself, and screw you guys. And I could do bad all by myself. I'm going to be doing it my way, alone, solo. So going from that to then learning how to accept people's help, especially like, you don't know me from anywhere. And that was hard. But I've learned to do that, and I've learned to reach out when I needed the most help. And the biggest thing, the biggest thing that I've learned, is love. And I know that I still have a long way to go, because I feel, I compare the love that I have for myself and others to that of God and Jesus. And I mean, if I'm comparing, then I'm trying to perfect as a Virgo, and I need to learn how to not do that. But I have come a long way. I know that I'm not there, unconditional, absolute, like just enlightenment love. But I've learned how to do that for myself, how to see the good in people. And I've learned how to love others without waiting to receive it. That's the biggest thing that I've learned, especially when it comes to my twin flame. It used to be that, if you mentioned anything about him, his name even, I would just get anxious. Like my heart would just start beating. And especially if you would tell me, I do, the psychic readers, I do have to say that although he's your soulmate, because that's what they would use, you're not, it doesn't mean that you're going to be together. I couldn't hear any of that. I couldn't. I was just too anxious and too attached. But now I've learned how to love him and others without needing it in return. I love my twin, and I will forever love my twin. And I'm okay if it doesn't work out. I know that I'll receive the relationship that I want, and that I deserve, and I hope that he does too. But in the end, I'm still going to have that love, and for him and for anybody else. That was super, super hard, because I thought, like, if I'm feeling all this way and having such deep emotions for him, I need that reciprocated. I can't stand the thought of me having all this love for him and not being able to give it to him and not being able to receive his love in return. That would mess me up. That would mess me up so much. And I think that holding on to that held me in this little box that prevented me from growing, truly. And I just came down to a point where I was just like, you know what? I'm going to choose to love. I can't fight these feelings anymore in my heart. Isn't that a song? Anyway, I can't fight these feelings anymore in my heart. And I'm just going to learn how to accept it. And I'm okay. I can hold the love for him and anybody else in my heart. And I'm not going to need it, because I am giving myself what I need versus waiting for him to give me what I think I need, because I can do that for myself a little bit better than anybody else can. So, and how did I get to this point? I feel like a lot of self-guided meditations, a lot of journaling, a lot of time by myself, a lot of time in loving environments. But I feel like for sure it was mostly the guided meditations. And I didn't take time out in the middle of the day and do it like 4 or 5 times a day. I would just have it playing in the background if I'm cleaning, or if I'm going to sleep. I would have like self-love meditations going on at night where you don't even think that, you're not conscious, like how is it even gonna affect me? But it does. And now, if you guys want to follow what I'm doing now every day is I envision my body like a cup. And so, the term, like you have to fill the cup, with love or whatever. I envision my body as a cup, and I just go down from my toes all the way up to my head and all my energetic body. And it's just like I go over each body part, and I'm just like intentionally or envisioning that love being poured. Being poured. Not porn. Okay. I'm embarrassed. Okay. Being poured from my feet all the way up to my crown and my energy body. And that's really it. I feel good. I'm in a financial kind of situation, and so obviously it's one thing to say like, yeah, everything's all daisies and unicorns and everything's like, golly and jolly. No, sometimes life gets to you and you have to deal with some 3D shit, like my current finances. But it's about not letting yourself stay there and working with the divine and all of its powers to kind of move you ahead. So that's where I'm at. If you guys post your story, let me know, comment below, and I'd be happy to watch. If you guys want more of my twin flame story vlogs, let me know. I'm still looking for any person in the Rhode Island area that is interested in receiving a free QHHT session. It's a form of hypnotherapy. You go through a few past lives. You speak to your higher self, which has all of your knowledge, your soul's knowledge. If you're interested in that, let me know. I'll have a link below. You can visit my website. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. So, I'll have another video for sure. I don't know if it's tomorrow or on Sunday, with your weekly video. But, yeah, until next time, guys. Bye.